Welcome back once again to Spirituality with a Spin. I am Ryan Keys, your host. The year of open doors. What does it mean to have an open door? Is an open door an opportunity? Well, it is. Now, when I say the year of open doors, I mean that we are co-creating. We are utilizing all the things that I taught us in 2016, nudging ourselves into the now, many meditations, taking each day at a time, putting yourself here in the moment, and empowering yourself going forward, right? We are looking for like-minded people to echo, to be part of. Have you ever heard of the phrase, birds of a feather fly together? Or guilty by association? That's right. Birds of a feather fly together, they flock together. So all the people in my soul group here that we have soul contracts with, we are all very synchronized in a synergistic fashion, bubbling to the top, looking for spiritual truths, trying to dive in deeper, trying to exercise the external and the internal, learning more about ourselves as we go. Guilty by association means that what you associate yourself with, or who, or the how, is going to put you in the same boat. So that's why I say nudging ourselves into the now, the year of open doors and opportunity. By nudging yourself into the now, by being with people that are co-creating this rhythm, this effort, this drive to open the doors, to create. We are lifting each other up. So if someone is down, if someone feels downtrodden, everybody comes together through prayer, through energy, through like mind, through support, and we give them support like a family. So that would be association. That would be flocking together. No one here has the exact truth. No one here is putting parameters or boundaries around what you need to do to be here. We're just being. I have learned. We all have our designation. We all have our specialty. I have what I do, and I can't be you. You have what you do, and you can't be me. We all have our rhythm. We all have our designed instrument to play in this symphony. It's very important that we realize our individuality, that we appreciate what we bring to the table, that we do not see ourselves as separate entities, but as a symphony, as a coming together. And then we have to wake up and realize the twin flame topic is not truly about two people dancing together. It's about all of us as a family waking up. It's about our consciousness activating. It's about a calling from that being which created us and designed us. An arc of opportunity has been given to us. So 2 by 2 we go onto this huge, beautiful, expansive boat called belief. And here we're going to propel this boat to become bigger because we're going to believe together in a truth called love, in an understanding called love. As many of you know, I listen to Matt Kahn quite a bit, and he has a beautiful book that I read in which he is going about preaching love, sharing love. No matter what happens, love that. I agree. No matter what happens, love it. I posted my own letter to myself. I wrote that as a form of therapy for myself on Sunday. So do you see what I just did? I just gave you a clue into how to overcome things. Journaling or writing. Whenever you allow that internal part of your being to manifest and to come out in a creative fashion, whatever it is that you do, whether you're a painter or a writer or whatever that is, if you tune in and touch that part of yourself and allow it to create, you will pull yourself through to the true. You will become more in touch with yourself on the other side of whatever it was that was causing you a little bit of anxiety or a little bit of separation from self. That's an important part of today's message. We are all joined together by soul contracts. We've been understanding that. We've been building a volume of knowledge. We've been talking about a lot of things. Many of you here for the twin flames. Many of you are searching for your twin flame. Many of you are understanding that you're having some type of divine awakening, that someone has walked into your life. You have manifested this connection that is fiery, that is full of life, which happened in an instant. You do not understand why. It burned so hot, so flashed, such a bright, intense energy, then it just disappeared. And then we have people that have said that you have a running and a chasing stage, and we have people that are saying that you have a separation stage, and you do. But do you just have that with a twin? I think you have that with yourself as well. Whenever you want to face part of your life that is a truth to you, whenever you want to look at some part of your life which is holding you back, it's going to be like instant, damn it, I knew that. You're going to have that instant answer. For instance, let's say I'm in a relationship that's not going anywhere and I need to remove myself from this. And I don't have the energy to do that. I don't even know what's going on. Then I have that snap where I recognize, wow, this is why I have these issues. This is why I'm entered this. It's not going to work out. I need to alter this part of my life. It's very tough. It's going to take a lot of work. So something calls you into this zone of knowing where you are feeling a resonance. You're vibrating in a frequency of understanding. And then fear trickles in. Or rushes in. Either way, it slips in. So then this acknowledgement that I have a relationship that is dysfunctional, that isn't fulfilling, that isn't something I can work with, that I need to deviate from and move away from, I have that divine knowledge that has just enveloped me. I know that in order to express love into my being, this no longer is serving me, I'm not serving them, I'm holding them back, etc. Then I enter a running and chasing stage. I know my answer, and I begin running from it. But yet all the while, the guilt of knowing my answer is chasing my truth. So then I become separated and distant. And then I subconsciously drive a wedge into this relationship that I felt no longer serves me. And I become separate. I become separate from self and the situation. And I believe subconsciously throwing a wrench into the works. Breaking it without breaking it. Breaking it without breaking off. So my separation has now become kind of a situation. And then that forces it to a union of truth and fear. Ultimately, having to face the divine truth and allowing whatever is going to be to be. So then I either end it or fix it. So the twin flame stages are mirrored in other avenues, right? Let's call them awareness. Let's call them conscious calling. It's a wake-up moment. What we have to be careful of with the twin flame situation is that as you understand this world that you live in is multiple layered, as you understand that these layers are equal to levels of being and believing and seeing and truth and lying to yourself and running and chasing the truth and running from the truth and chasing the truth, and then a divine union of your truth and your action finally become one. It's very sensitive. It's a very sensitive place to be. Many of you that are experiencing the twin flame topic are very sensitive, very intuitive, very intimate within yourself. You know this. You're very intuitive people. That intuition is going to be open for all types of intention. So you have to guard yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to begin to live the life of that you are becoming empathic, and you're becoming one that can feel these things as you walk around even. What I wrote in my little letter to myself, I described a kiss and seeing someone kissing, and that, well, I feel love too when I see this action and it bubbles up inside of me. But how can that be? Well, it's because as we see and feel other things, even on TV, in the movies, we implement that. We engage that into that part of our being because we're multi-layered. So it becomes very difficult to differentiate what's going on. As you begin to see truth, is it true? It might be true to you because of the perceptions that you're seeing it, but are you seeing it through true eyes? Are you seeing it through the most honest of levels? Or are you seeing something that you want to see because you're not facing all the truth in the situation? because there's multiple levels. Are you seeing a twin flame as an avenue to explore yourself because you're no longer happy with what you're doing and where you're at? And this person crosses your path with an energized excitement, and it entices you off your little piece of property called your life. And you feel invigorated. You feel drawn to that. Is it a tease? Is it a temptation? Is it the inner part of you taunting yourself out of your cave to free yourself from this bondage that you are in because you're not truly being truthful to you? Have you been running and chasing from your own truth? Is this twin flame just a expression of that? It could be many things. I'm not here to tell you what it is, but I'm here to give you an example. I'm here to paint other pictures, other avenues, because making changes in your life does just that. It changes your life. So the idea is we want to change our life and be as effective as possible. We want to create a co-creative change, one that's going to benefit as many people involved. Occasionally it does not, but we're human beings. We're being human. So we want to be more in touch, more in tune. So we want to come together with people and we want to acknowledge how we feel, how we're doing. We want to stop running from our truth. We want to stop chasing our truth because we are living in fear. We want a divine union of self. And as we become more unified of self, we begin to put that spiritual codependency aside. We're no longer investing in other people to become a spiritual bounty of being. We are learning that we are no longer victims. We are no longer spiritual bullies. We're no longer better thans, as I like to call it. And we're no longer needy. We're coming from a desire that's based purely on love. Coming from a process of learning to love ourselves as we love other people. The two tenements, my friends. Love yourself as you would love God, and love your neighbor as you would love yourself. Wow, that's pretty crazy. So treat that tree like you'd treat yourself. Don't just chop it down because it feels good. If it's going to be useful, do it. Thank the tree. Thank God for giving you the option to have that. And then replant one. Right? It's a cycle. Let's do it. So there are a lot of things, a lot of layers that we have to be focused on. And as we're going forward, as we are bettering ourselves and we're learning that we are not inferior, that we are divine in mind, divine in body, divine in spirit, and that true love is about not being afraid, and true love is about loving even if it means letting go. Holding on to something is going to kill it. Holding on to something is going to cage it. Maya Angelou has a poem I'm going to read right now, which I love because it's called Caged Bird, and I feel it's very, very pointed right now. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind, and floats downstream till the currents end, and dips his wing in the orange sun rays, and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage can seldom see through his bars of rage. His wings are clipped, and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful thrill of things unknown, but longs for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill. For the caged bird sings freedom. The free bird thinks of another breeze, and the trade winds soft through the singing trees, and the fat worm waiting on the dawn bright lawn, and he names the sky his own. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. So he opens his throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful thrill of things unknown but longed for still. His tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Ooh, I just got goosebumps. Damn. The caged bird sings with a fearful thrill of things unknown but longed for still. His tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Are you caged? Are you calling a twin because you're caged? Are you calling out to release yourself from a cage because it's things unknown, and you long for this difference. You long for freedom, and you don't know how to quite do it. See? It's an interesting place to be. That's why, again, I say I love the 4 agreements. If you would take time to read the 4 agreements, I believe that it will help you to learn to put forth effort to break this pattern that could be pushing you down into this running and chasing. And I'm not saying that twin flames don't exist. I'm not saying that you may be beautifully happy with your twin flame because you may have purged all of these things through, and you may have broken the cycles and the patterns, and you may have come together in this beautiful patchwork design, and you are creating and fruitful. And if that is the case, I applaud you, and I love it. I love when people come together. I love when love happens, because that is opportunity in action. When I see love, oh my God, my heart just drops. It opens up like a flower. My heart opens up when I see people in love, like a flower receiving water or sun. It just feels right. And when you find love, I want you to feel right. But it's going to be difficult if you are caught in the middle of a mess that you have created. The only way we can learn to get out of the mess is by maneuvering ourselves into a place where we can manifest, motivate, and gain momentum in that miracle. Because you need a miracle if you're in a mess. And miracles happen every day. I'm a walking, talking, breathing miracle. I've been told so many times that I couldn't do something, and I did it anyway. But remember, discomfort paves the way for expansion. And we're expanding. You're empathic, you're intuitive, because you're expanding. You're allowing things to flow through you that are around you. You're allowing things that are around you to influence you and become a bigger part of who you are. So this empathic, intuitive ability that you're having, this connection that you've had with people in the past, we call them karmic twins or whatever you want to call them, karmic relationships, these things that just flourished and blossomed and just took bloom. Those little levels are expansion. And like Matt Kahn says, whatever arises, love that. You don't jump into a relationship with somebody because you want them to love you back as much as you love them. That doesn't cross your mind, does it? It shouldn't. You should go into a relationship because you just love them. A relationship should just be the natural occurrence of loving them, because you're just letting go. So, for instance, if someone comes to me and I fall in love with them and I love them, I just let go. I love them. Now, I've got things I have to do in my day. I've got my own path and my own mission and message that I need to bring forward. But when it comes to them, I just love them. I don't ask for anything back. The only thing I ask for in return is that they just, give me a little bit of respect. But even that is a little suspect, right? Because I'm asking them to have some type of admonishment for what I need. And I shouldn't love them because I need anything. I should just love them because I have no other choice but to love them. And if they no longer love me and they need to move forward, I should love them so much that I just want them to be happy, and I let them go do it. Sounds easy. Why is it so damn hard? I mean, seriously. It is not that difficult. So, let's remember. Empathy is expansion, and you're expanding. Empathy is the present empowering people with an expansive thought. So if I'm empathetic, I'm going to empower you because I can feel you. I'm in the present. I'm feeling what you're going through. I'm here to help you. But if I'm sympathetic, or if I'm experiencing sympathy, sympathy is in the past identifying pain. So let's try not to be sympathetic as much as we are empathetic. Let's be more empathic. Let's be more involved. Let's be more about solving the pain. by showing love. Let's come from a place of love. And that's what happens when we start removing our spiritual codependency and we start to invest in love and we start to allow and we start to embrace the opening of all these doors equaling opportunity, and we stop living like a cage bird. We stop looking out the bars that cage at the freedom that is over on the hill, and we learn to love ourselves past that so that we are free. Don't let your situation suck you down. And don't leave something because you have a promise for something better. If you're in a relationship right now that isn't working out and it's tough and you've been there and you've got a lot of spiritual codependency and someone cruises by and you're like, whoa, shit, that's my twin flame. Don't forget to love everybody involved and to come from a place of love. Be impeccable with your word. Speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Don't use your words against yourself or other people. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. And do your best. Because your best is going to be from moment to moment. It'll be different when you're trying to deal with one person. You do your best in the relationship. If you did your best and you can't make it work, then it is time to leave. But it's not time to leave because someone cruised by and taunted you and tempted you to leave. Don't leave a situation that is broken to go to another situation. Don't let the situation that comes by out of the blue drag you out of that situation. Make your lines in the sand. Go forward in love and truth, being impeccable to yourself. Making a decision because the decision needs to be made. You're not leaving something for something else. If you do, you're just perpetuating a pattern, right? So make that evident. So we've been talking about a lot of stuff. We've been going on about all of our things. And this is what I was going to talk about Sunday. This whole love revolution. It is a love revolution. It's a revolution of karmic contact. We're experiencing karma like never before. We are moving through these things like never before. Learning about all of these levels in this layered world. Turning our trauma into truth. Turning our pain into love through persistence. Pushing the envelope. Moving forward. You ever heard the phrase clean and clear? Well, it's not clear until you clean it. So if you want clear sailing ahead, if you want that relationship with that new person, or you want that relationship that's going to be for you, that's going to get you close to your divine purpose, clear and clean. Clean and clear. You have to clean it before it's going to be clear. So let's clean up things, get them clear so we can see the road ahead and we can move forward. So that's what we're doing. We're laying down groundwork. We're talking about things. We're looking at things. We're opening up those twin flame truths. The things that we don't necessarily want to talk about. Those truths that I've heard from thousands of you that we've talked about, that we've decided rings true. Twin flame truths. Just because it's about twin flames doesn't mean that it's going to always be happy and sunny. So I'm a proponent of divine purpose and divine path and divine love. I believe the twin flame concept is a brand that has been thrown onto that. If you want to find divine purpose, divine path, and divine love, we need to start getting things clear. So clean it up so we can go straight forward. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and do your best. And whatever arises, love that, like Matt Kahn says. So continue with me into this concept as we start going into some twin flame truths, ironing out some of these things that people have asked me to do videos on, trying to figure out a way out of the maze, because many of you are in a maze, trying to find a way, trying to find something that makes sense. And the first thing that makes sense is looking at this through the eyes of love, No spiritual codependency. Don't be dependent on somebody. Don't invest into someone just because you need their love to support you. You want to be someone that brings love, gives love, and operates in love. You're bringing love to the table. You're not loving somebody because you expect something back. You get it back because they love you. And as long as you're both coming from a place of love, whatever you're getting and whatever you're giving is going to be divine. When one of the parties that's giving no longer wants to give and they want to move on, you don't stop giving. You just are now giving them the ability to go get what they need somewhere else. And then you're continually loving and giving, and your pattern is about loving and moving forward and living in a passion state. So then someone else is going to come through that open door, and you're going to give them love as well. There's all kinds of levels of love, just like levels of life, levels of learning, levels of living. We're learning, we're living, we're learning those levels, and we're moving forward, living a multi-layered life. If you have questions, please ask them down below. As we move forward, talking about twin flame truths, it's not going to be always roses and sunshine. Let's talk in the comments below amongst ourselves, and I'll chime in as well. But let's do it from a place of love and understanding. These are things that I'm gathering from multiple sources and from coaching and working and going through thousands of people that are going through this. So, peace, light, and love. I will see you on the other side.
You